is up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today is Friday, March 14th. How are y'all doing today? It's officially spring break for me, so I get to do a lot more videos and it's going to be pretty fun. Hopefully I get to do some fun stuff. So the last thing we're going to be taking a look at today is something that this thing used to be the absolute best, most revolutionary thing ever. And nowadays, it's like, why would you even purchase one nowadays anymore? But it's something that I still think has a place in the hobby. There are so many better options. The blaster we're going to be taking a look at today is the DartZone Nexus Pro. This blaster is a pump action primary that came out in 2020, and it's a release out of Primetime Toys DartZone. Not only this thing takes full-length darts, you prime it, mag release, got this little mag adapter, and got a short dart magazine. Yup, this thing takes short darts. Put in there. Out of the box with no mods whatsoever. This thing was back then $50, and you can pick it up at your local Walmart, and you also could buy tons and tons of short dart refill packs. You didn't have to worry about going into any sketchy websites or just very, very expensive places to find them. Nope, just waltz into Walmart, pick them up, grab this thing, and you can be competitive in the game. And back then, this thing absolutely sold. Back then, this was the absolute best thing you could buy. There was nothing that could come close. I mean, maybe some blasters, but this was the one that got you. This was the start of a new era of the Nerf hobby. And it's crazy to think that 4 years have passed. So, what do I think of the Nexus Pro 4 years later? And do I still think it's good 4 years later? Let's get into it. So of course, starting off with the ergonomics of the Nexus Pro, this grip, it's not too bad. It's big, it's nice and comfortable, not really a whole lot to note here. There's no finger choils whatsoever. It's just nice and solid, and you have something nice to put your hands on. The foregrip, this is also a good pump grip. It's not too bad. I think it might be a little bit too small, but it gets the job done. You have a nice finger choil which is placed in the right spot, and it works. I really like these angled foregrips, and this one is no exception. This blaster does have a stock attachment point, but it's not end strike. This is buffer tube, and it does have a barrel attachment point, but it's not end strike compatible. This is proprietary. This stock is, I'm gonna be honest, not really good. I don't really like this stock. I mean, it's shouldering it at the minimum position. It's too short, but you can also extend it, right? You got 3 points. Just press this. You can do that. Well, for some reason, mine doesn't want to collapse, because I've seen other people's stocks completely collapse when they try to shoulder it. And this is the extended position. But for some reason, my stock doesn't collapse, but funny enough, my stock actually extends. I can just pull it out, bam, I don't even gotta push this. The comfort of the stock is, I mean, it's okay. It's decent. It's not too bad. It could be a lot better. It's just, I don't know why. I'm just not really a big fan of this stock. It just feels cheaply made, and it could have been better. It's definitely not the worst thing ever. But then again, this stock is absolutely awesome because it has spare O-rings in it. That's amazing. So say if something's wrong here with the breech or something's messed up with the O-ring, you can just switch it out, put these new ones in. I don't really even have to worry about that, but that's really cool. This blaster has a sight. You actually got two of them. This is a grenade launcher style sight. It's not really going to help you aim or anything, and I tried. It doesn't really help, but it's cool. And then you also got this little front sight. I think this sight's alright. Not really anything to write home about, but yep, you can put it on this rail. And this entire rail spans the whole length of the blaster, and it's Picatinny, so you can put any airsoft attachments or anything you want to. There is also Picatinny on the pump grip, so you can unscrew this and put any other pump grip you can, you know, from other DartZone blasters or just anything that can take a Picatinny rail. The trigger, pretty good. Definitely not my favorite, but it does get the job done pretty well. And it does have a fair bit of travel to it. The mag insertion. You gotta prime it to insert the mag, drop it. The mag release is really good. It's just this nice big paddle style, and I like it. Putting the mag in, and taking it out is also really smooth. You can just, man. But I gotta admit, due to how this magwell is designed and the way it is, it's a lot harder to tactically reload. Not saying you can't do it, but you saw me struggle a little bit there. There we go. How is the design and shape of the blaster? Honestly, I think it looks really good. And this is not the original color scheme. This is the purple camo color scheme that came out in 2021, along with the gold Midas version. There is a couple color variants and versions of the original Nexus Pro out there. And I think this looks really good. The shape and design, it looks realistic, but at the same time, it doesn't look like something that's really trying to mimic a firearm or anything like that. It's this mix-up between a toyish, but also a realistic vibe to it, you know? It works. It kind of fits the pro-ish aesthetic of it. And I really like this purple camo color scheme. This is probably my favorite out of all of them. You got a safety here, so push that, you can prime it, can't pull the trigger, unsafe, and you can fire. Not gonna lie, this safety is not really good, because say if you put it on a solid surface, you could accidentally disengage it to safe or unsafe depending on which mode you're on, which is not really a good thing. This safety and where they have it, it's I don't really even use the safety at all, but just keep in mind this thing shoots really hard, so you wouldn't want to have this thing unsafe if you're not using it. This thing is ages 14 and up. I wouldn't really recommend kids use it because, once again, it shoots really hard. And, speaking of that, how is the prime? This prime kinda sucks. I mean, I don't really have too much issues with it, but the problem is, this first half of the prime does nothing! It's just... I'm not really a big fan of that. And then you have to prime 150 FPS. Now, my prime is really smooth. You know, I've used this for a while, so of course it's gonna feel a little bit more different than newer, but when you get it new out of the box, this prime, it ain't too good. But for me, it's really smooth. I can use this prime all day. Yeah, this, not too good. This feels rough, like still, like this just, it doesn't feel that good. And then priming it forward, it's meh. It's just, this prime is meh. Of course, you got your full-length magazine, but you also got the short dart mag. This is a mag adapter. We don't really use these anymore. This is when, you know, DartZone really started to get into the Pro Blasters, and they use these for a couple of them. but they don't really use this anymore because we've been starting to make short dart only Pro Blasters. We don't really use full-length darts and Pro Blasters because there's not really a point to using full-length darts and Pro Blasters because short darts are a lot more accurate, a lot more durable, it's a lot more stable in flight, and just overall better in every single way. Not saying I don't like full-length darts, but for Pro Blasters, just use short darts. They're a lot more fun, and you're gonna get a lot more enjoyment out of it. How does this blaster work? Well, you take your magazine, you prime it, put it in. Gosh, kinda hate this mag well. And you can fire. That is everything the DartZone Nexus Pro has to offer, so let's go outside to the range and see how good this thing fires. Alrighty, we are out here with the DartZone Nexus Pro. I have the included original Adventure Force Pro darts this thing came with. We're gonna see how good this thing does. We're gonna do 12 shots flat. I can't angle it because they're definitely going to leave the yard. And then Adventure Force waffles and maybe some other darts. But let's just see how this thing does. Safety off. Wow. Good. Well, back then, that velocity was considered as absolutely revolutionary. It's hard to believe this thing came out almost 5 years ago. The Nexus Pro is almost half a decade old. Well, now this is pretty much considered as a standard, about 150 FPS, and now we got 200, 250 FPS blasters and things that can shoot so much harder than this. Wow. It kind of sucks because now I'm just not even surprised that these things shoot really hard anymore. We're going to do some Adventure Force waffles. Now these darts are a lot more inconsistent because as you see the head is the same size as the foam. As with this dart, the head of the dart is smaller than the foam, so the head will not rub up against the barrel nearly as much. They will work, but just not nearly as consistent or as good as the included darts. Let's see how these things do. Still pretty solid. What was that? This guy, man. Alright. You can also shotgun this blaster since it doesn't have slam fire. So you can just hold down the trigger and then pump and then let go, pump it, and bam, you can shoot 2 at once. And we are out. And that fires not too bad. Man, this prime. And now with some Nerf Elite 2.0 darts. This accuracy is gonna be really crazy. Get prepared. My goodness. What? And they're hitting the wall though. Some of them. That hit the wall. What was that? And now, for the short darts. These are what make high performance blasters actually really fun and make you want to use them. Much better. Hit the wall. Hit the wall. Yeah, the short darts are much better. Wow. Yep. Short darts are better in every single way. More accurate, flying way faster. Let's shotgun some short darts, baby. Let's do 2 of them. Now that is really good. For 2 darts. We're even close to hitting the wall. I think they are hitting the wall. Wow. 2 darts. And it still maintains really good velocity. That's awesome. What's better than 2? 3. Still amazing. That's a lot of fun, not gonna lie. What that was. And we're out. You can even shoot Nerf Mega Darts. That's all I gotta do. Shove it in the barrel. Definitely not the greatest velocity ever, but that's really fun. And yes, you can shoot rival rounds out of here too. Just shove the ball deep in there. Pretty good. And for something that shoots rival, that is actually really accurate. I think this might be the most accurate thing that has ever shot a rival ball ever. I'm not even joking. And if you somehow want to, you can even shoot Nerf Ultra Darts as well. And I'm not gonna lie, it shoots these really, really well and accurately. So overall, what do I think of the DartZone Nexus Pro? Well, this thing is actually a very interesting blaster. So as you can see, the performance is really good. You can fire Megas, Rivals, Ultras, some other ammo types that you think you wouldn't really be able to fire out of here. Yeah, it's a nice, fun, solid blaster that fires really well, takes magazines, and back at the time, it's very, very revolutionary. Now I'm saying back at the time, because nowadays, not really a reason to pick this thing up when there are so many better options. I'm not saying this is a bad blaster, but there are a lot of better. There's the Nexus Pro X, the Striker 2.0, a lot of other worker blasters, a lot of other 3D printed pump action magazine fed springers that are a lot better than the Nexus Pro. But honestly, I don't have any of those. I do have the Dictator, and I love it way more than this thing. I still think this blaster should be respected and widely known as one of the most important blasters in this hobby, because this is what started the foam. This is what started the era of foam flinging high performance pro blasting technology. This blaster was the baseline. This is what got you into that ecosystem of firing very high performance blasters and experiencing the fun of just shooting something with a foam dart that hard, that far. And this thing shoots 150 FPS. Back then, that was super good. Now, this is pretty much the standard. Now we get 150 FPS. We're like, oh, okay, oh, cool. It's crazy how far this hobby has come. So my opinions personally on the Nexus Pro, I like it. Definitely not my favorite blaster ever. Definitely not in my top 10, but it's something I enjoy. I pick up, I shoot a lot, especially with short darts. I really like some short darts out of this thing. Yeah, for me personally, I give the rating of the Nexus Pro a solid 7 out of 10. There is some issues of this thing, and there's some things that definitely were improved in other blasters, but I still think the Nexus Pro is a decent offering. Would I still recommend the Nexus Pro today? Well, not really. As I said, there is a lot of other better options, but say if you had this and you didn't have the other options, I still wouldn't be very upset, because it's still a usable pump action springer that shoots decent, and you can shoot other ammo types. You wouldn't be unhappy with the Nexus Pro even if you still had it in 2025. But before purchasing this, definitely check out the Nexus Pro X, the Max Striker 2.0, and some of these other options I'm going to post on screen. They are way better than the Nexus Pro will ever be. I just think the Nexus Pro should still be known as a very important blaster from this hobby. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Holy crap! I did not expect to get 40 subscribers. I got 30 on March 1st, exactly 2 months after I started this stupid channel. And I'm at 40. Hit 40 on March 11th. Like, what? Thank you. Seriously, I did not deserve this at all. But thank you very much for your support. Even if you just clicked on one video, even if you did not enjoy it, you still watched it, and I appreciate you for that. I just do content for fun, and just your support, all your support. I'm not getting a whole lot of comments on my videos, but just still, I appreciate it so much, and I hope y'all have a fantastic spring break. A lot more videos are gonna come, and I'm gonna do a video of the Ultra 2. That's my next review, coming up in a couple of days. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Definitely not a really good video, but I will see y'all in the next one. And as always, peace out.